Leigh, welcome to my living room.
Hey.
I'm so happy to be connecting with you. Montclair State University pride is flowing freely right now through this interview because that's how we came together so many years ago. I can't even believe how many years.
Have you been back? Have you gone to see the new space?
I'm there quite often
Oh,
because
really?
we do video work for the university. So I've been there a lot. So I've seen the construction and I'm totally jealous because I wish we had that studio to play in.
I know. It's big. Wow. So now Montclair is paying you to do work for them.
I know. I mean, it's not consistent, but when there's a big event or some of the other departments, if they need, and the broadcast department can't work with them, then they work with me. So that's really cool, and I love going back there because I genuinely love that college.
Yeah. I went back a few weeks ago to speak to some of the seniors for like a 2 hour, spiel about like my career from Montclair to, now at CBS and Inside
Was
Edition.
it the colloquium series with the School of Communications?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
did that.
Yep. I did that in October.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, when their beautiful new auditorium. I mean, we studied in a trailer. Do you remember the
Was it,
trailer that
was it a
Larry and
trailer?
Patty?
Was it a trailer?
Our
Really?
their office was in a trailer. Patty and Larry's office.
It doesn't feel like that's what it was.
It was. I looked, or like a ranch house or
Yeah, it
something.
was a trailer, but it doesn't feel like it was. I know.
But anyway, how are you doing? What's happening?
Um, yeah, everyone's obviously working from home and being a reporter, you know, I'm busy. There's so many stories to tell, so many important stories, so many lighthearted stories that people need in addition to the, news of the day. So this is like, I don't know, my study room where I sit every day. And I hung up this photo because of Hoboken, where I used to live, because I was like, these walls are so bare. I was like, I need to hang something up to be in the background behind me. But yeah, for me, I'm really busy, and working from home is actually really easy for me because um, being a reporter for InsideEdition.com, what we do is storytell through our computers. So I never usually have to leave my desk anyway. So when I'm in the office writing video stories, writing packages, I did everything from my desk. I didn't have to go out and shoot anything in the field or be a field reporter like I used to. So basically it was just like, here's my laptop and just do the same thing, but just do it at home. So I think like the only thing, was like, we had to navigate through all the systems like just on a laptop and like making sure we were like connected to the server, but also like when I have to track, I don't even have proper audio equipment. I'm just using my phone, recording my voiceover in the closet. And I posted a video of that one day on Instagram. But so that's basically it. So it's the same thing. And, we have Zoom meetings twice a day so everyone can say hello and chat, and like give updates with each other. Um, and that's it. I like turn maybe like 2 videos a day.
And what's the content based on?
So we try to tell the most inspirational, positive, upbeat story that we can. If a lot of people are looking for like non-coronavirus stories. Um, there are so many important ones to share, and some of them, it can be a little bit oversaturating sometimes, and people need like a break from that. So like, doing some of those stories, like for example, a story that I was working on earlier was, we're on Zoom right now talking, but there was a Zoom show back in the 70s and 90s. And so people are like, hey, remember Zoom? And, it's because we keep saying the word Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. People are like, oh, remember the show? It was also called Zoom. So I spoke to a former cast member of the show and, talking about how like they've like revamped Zoom and are doing it again on social media because Zoom is popular. Zoom.
That is hysterical.
So that's like the non-coronavirus story that we're doing today. But I've also been covering the story about the Broadway actor Nick Cordero, who had his leg amputated.
How
Yeah,
is he doing?
he's still in a coma, but according to Amanda's updates, things are slowly improving little by little, and they're taking off like different, I can't really speak on like the medical, but they're slowly like decreasing, the tubes and different things that he needs, in the hospital, hoping that he'll wake up soon. So I just spoke to yesterday, I Zoomed with one of Nick's really good friends from when they were in A Bronx Tale on Broadway together, Richard Blake. And, he's been staying in touch with them. And I spoke to him just about, how positive Amanda's been staying, and she's been posting all the videos and talking about the dance that everyone is doing every day at 6 p.m. Eastern. So it was nice to chat with him. They're all very hopeful. So, so that's like, the more serious side of the stories that I'm covering.
Well, a lot of your work too is based in the Broadway world. What is happening to these actors and the producers, and how are they keeping themselves, I guess, in the game? And when do they expect things to go back to normal for them?
Yeah, well, there is so much content right now online that people can watch at home since Broadway is closed. If you're looking for entertainment, last night everyone sat down at 7:00 to watch the New Jersey concert, which was amazing. But every day at 2 and 8 on Stars in the House, there's like a show that I watch religiously, and it's like all Broadway community coming together to sing and tell stories. And the other day they streamed a play live from somebody's living room, Buyer and Seller with Michael Urie, and that was really incredible production to see how they did that just by using like their cell phones. And so, I think like people are staying busy trying to produce, digital content, but as far as, Broadway, I think it's going to be a really long time, and producers are, just from the things that I've been reading and hearing, is that they're doing everything they can to save these shows so that they can reopen, because it takes like it's going to take millions of dollars to reopen the shows, because, once Cuomo says that, hey, New York can reopen, first of all, Broadway theaters have more than 500 people in the theaters. So will it be longer for Broadway to reopen, because they're big event spaces, and this, you've been to a Broadway show, the seats are like,
on top of each other.
Tight.
Yeah. Like worse than a plane in some of those.
Yeah. So, if and when the call is for Broadway to reopen, it's going to take at least 6 weeks before an audience can go inside, because the cast all have to rehearse again, because it's like starting from scratch, because it's not like they were doing it constantly every day and having rehearsals. They literally have not been doing it. So, that's what I'm hearing from producers, that they have to go back into a rehearsal space for 6 weeks. And then, who knows if they'll have to do every other seat. And if they even want to, because you can't make money producing, a live show of that caliber only filling half the house. So I think there's so many questions. And then, like, do people have to wear masks in the theaters? Can they do the shows without an audience? But I don't know. I don't think.
And then stream it from home, and then have people pay for access to the stream.
Yeah, I think what I heard from one producer in a podcast that I was listening to was like, you don't even make the same amount of money, because like, you think about it, you pay $129 for a Broadway ticket. No one's paying that to watch the show streaming. You're going to pay like $5 to watch it for streaming. You can't, and you're not going to make that money back. So I think so many questions, and like, even, now we're getting into like the fall award shows, and so many award shows are being canceled, and the Tony Awards, right now is like TBD on whenever that will be. So many unanswered questions there. But I am staying positive by watching as much theater as I can on YouTube.
What developed your love for theater?
Well, my mom owned a dancing school for 35 years. And so I grew up, now people are like playing with toys at home, and, playing like video games. And I just grew up watching Shirley Temple and Judy Garland. So, and then taking dance class, and then going to Broadway shows as a kid, and going backstage as a kid. And clearly, it kept building and building and building. And like, it's funny because I see old Facebook posts from like 12, 13 years ago, and it's me talking about, I wish I could interview that Broadway celebrity. Like, when is it my turn to interview the Broadway celebrity? It's really funny.
Isn't that funny though? And then it happens. You are as passionate about Broadway as I am about sports.
The Giants,
The
yeah.
Giants, the Yankees. So, I mean, I have those same kind of Facebook memories. And then like fast forward, here I am, like they're in my cell phone now because they're friends of mine. So it's crazy how that works. But I think it just shows what hard work and tenacity and consistency can get you.
I can't believe it. I don't, there's still so many more things that I'd love to do, and people I'd love to interview, but I guess it really is crazy that I do get to do that. It's not even like, it's not really my full-time job, the Broadway stuff. It's really my side hustle.
Yeah.
But I make it, my passion and what I talk about on social media. If you want to talk about branding as far as like how does someone brand themselves, that's kind of what I did.
You're on Inside right now, but you had a journey. You moved far away and you got an on-camera job soon after college. Talk quickly about the steps that you took to where you are today.
Yeah, so I interned at Fox News, and I interned for a former anchor there, Edie Hill, and she put me on air a few times, and then I made a demo reel from that. And I found them recently because I'm cleaning everything out, and they're just so bad. They're so bad. And then I got a job at News 12 freelancing as a reporter in the Bronx in Brooklyn, and I had to do like a 3-week trial, and then I failed the trial at the end. And they were like, no, you cannot be a reporter here full time. So then I worked the assignment desk a little bit, and then I finally got an on-air job in Binghamton, New York. And I moved to Binghamton for 2 years, and then built skills there, made many mistakes, learned how to tell a story, learned how to voice, learned how to tell a good stand-up. And then I got a job in Fort Myers, Florida. I didn't even apply. They called me and were like, hey, do you want a job on the beach? And I was like, okay. And then I moved to Florida. And for a kid that went to Montclair State, like 40 minutes from my house in New Jersey, not wanting to leave the tri-state, like to actually leave to move to Florida for 2 years, I was like, it was a pretty big risk for me. And I managed to do that for 2 years. And it feels like I didn't even do that in my career. I don't even remember it. That was in 2011 to 2013, living in Florida. So almost 10 years ago. I don't remember it at all. Did that, made more mistakes in Florida. I did like 12 live shots a day, had a horrible schedule, then moved home. And then I worked freelance for Fox 29 in Philadelphia. And then I worked for FiOS One as a reporter, and then I was like covering the same stories as all the New York City reporters. And then I'd always pretend that I would always stand next to Channel 7 because that was always the dream to be a reporter for Channel 7. And so like every time my mic flag would be in their thing, I'd be like, I made it to Channel 7. And then I went back to Fox News for a little bit to work on their digital team. And then I joined InsideEdition.com in 2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's almost 5 years. Wow. I can't believe you've been there that long.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
You're doing so many good things. You've been nominated for an Emmy. What did you get nominated for? Which story?
It was a story. Okay, so I have on InsideEdition.com, I have this series about teens doing amazing things. So I follow different teens and like see what a day in their life is like. And so we did a story out of Michigan. This 14-year-old girl is the CEO of her own lollipop company called Zolly Candy. And she's so well-spoken. She was going to be a freshman in high school when we shot this piece in Michigan. I didn't go. I stayed here, and then like we had a crew remote shoot the whole thing, but I gave them instructions on what to do and like all the questions. So I kind of like remote field produced, I guess. And so it was like an 11-minute piece all about her, following her throughout the day and like seeing her business and seeing how she does school and how she does her company. And so it was that story. Are you eligible to submit your stuff for it?
Now we are, because now that we're on television, we are. So that's why I joined the association. And yeah, so starting this year, we can submit our stuff.
So just because you were a digital operation prior to that, you weren't able to?
I guess we could have, but I was too busy trying to get the show on TV to even like apply. But now I'm part of it and everything. So I will apply something for this year if we can go out and film again. Who knows when
Yeah.
that's going to be?
Well, I'm wondering, and I'm thinking about this because we're all turning stories by not filming anything. And one of the requirements, I think, is you have to like shoot 75% of the piece, you know, it has to be shot by you. I'm wondering if they have to change, you know, like have like a coronavirus like category, like
Maybe best Zoom show.
yeah,
Best FaceTime call. I mean, I don't
best
know.
lighting design of a Zoom.
Yes, best background.
Yeah, because that's like going to be like 6 months, you know, 3 to 6 months of this. So, you know, then that narrows the window down of pieces. So I wonder if they just are like, you know, make an exception next year for.
Or maybe they'll combine 2 years.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on how long, although I'm sure there's so many good news stories coming out that people will want to submit. So I don't know.
Yeah. Or best use of not shooting.
Yeah, exactly. How are you, besides, you know, doing everything you're doing work-wise, how are you spending your time during this pandemic?
That is a great question and something I really want to write a piece about, like a first person piece on somewhere. And because I've been reading so many articles about how like it's okay to sit on your couch and binge watch, it's okay to not be productive, it's okay to gain a few pounds, and I'm like, no, I am so busy. I am taking, you know, where I'm never home and never able to do anything and like, you know, always out at a show or at an event or here and there. I am loving being able to like organize, be productive. So every day I'm up at 6 because I don't want to waste the time that I would have been on getting ready, getting on the train to go to the city. So I'm getting up, and then instead of sitting on the train looking at my phone, I like go downstairs into the basement, do like a quick 30-minute workout, then make a nice breakfast, then do work, and then like go for a run. Like then I do cardio in the afternoon, and then like make dinner. But like on the weekends, I'm like, we're not sitting. Like, what project can we do? Because we'll never have this opportunity again. And then when this is over, everyone's gonna be like, wow, what did I do the last 3 months? So I don't wanna be like that person that says, wow, I really didn't do anything, or I should have made better use of my time. I wanna be like, this is the time I have, gonna get this done, because when this is over, no one's gonna wanna be home, right? Everyone's gonna like go on vacation, go do things. And so I'm not gonna wanna be home. And then, you know, I'll miss the opportunity to like do the things that I wanted to do.
Yeah. And as a storyteller too, this is such a great time to document this crazy period in time that hopefully we will never see again. I know they're talking about the second wave of it in the fall. I hope not.
Someone said, they were like, so do we have birthdays this year, or can we like cancel 2020? Like just like cut it out, start it over, start the year.
I'd be down for that.
And everyone's like everyone's like, you know, is a year younger.
Exactly.
And they cancel. It's just really sad.
The whole thing is so sad. And the stories that, I mean, with the Broadway actor who had to have his leg amputated, my heart just goes out to him. But so many people I know, it was getting to the point that I didn't even want to log on social media because it felt like a obituary.
Right. I know. Yeah.
Horrible.
I'm literally sitting on my phone every day on Twitter, and it's like scroll. It's like, you gotta just like, I gotta put it away. And so
it's so easy to be sucked in, especially because there's no new content. So the only content we're getting is from social media.
Yeah, you make a good point, right? There's no movies. They're like canceling all the movies. They're postponing them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I guess like that's why I'm constantly watching these like theatrical events, is because that's the only new thing that's on, you know, TV right now. Yeah. So like an escapism, right? That's what theater's all about anyway. Yeah. I think it's incredible that, you know, that they're able to put on these productions and like any shows with like 8 people on them, you know. It's like it's really fascinating. I don't know if you've seen any show. Like, did you watch that Rosie O'Donnell show special? That was like in March.
No, I didn't. I watched the Jersey concert obviously yesterday. I watched the Lady Gaga concert last week. So I've been watching a lot of those things. Yeah. The Elton John thing he did a couple weeks ago.
Right. I think those are all like taped though, right? Yesterday's piece was edited by somebody, so it wasn't live.
No, it wasn't live.
They edited
And the quality was too good. It wasn't Bruce Springsteen over a Zoom.
Right. Yeah. But these shows that I'm talking about are all literally live.
Oh no.
Like, with 6 people like coming in, out. It's like a whole singing live, you know.
Oh, wow.
It's so that's what I'm saying. It's like really fascinating to see how these productions are happening live.
And you know what's so funny too? There's such an importance, as we know, on lighting and audio and the quality of a photo. And now look at how you're getting by with your cell phone recording hits in your closet. And look how we're doing this over Zoom. I mean, when I export this file, it's going to be 480p. It's going to be terrible quality, but it works. Yeah. And I feel like people don't care. So I don't know. I think it just like, it changes everything. And it's fun because it's really allowing us to do what we love in like its complete stripped down form.
Yeah. And that's kind of like why, you know, I didn't really talk about this, but our YouTube channel and Inside Edition, we have the #1 news and politics YouTube channel in the world with like 7.3 million subscribers.
Wow.
And so most of our content is pulling from other people's social media that we get permission from and stuff that they shoot. So that it's literally the quality that our audience doesn't seem to care so much about like the quality of how something is. And so now I think everybody is figuring that out. Like, hey, really the quality of these interviews don't really matter. Because everyone gets it, right? Exactly. Get that this is the quality of that.
Yep. And there's glitches and bad internet and the whole thing. Leigh, before we go, where can people find out more about you once again?
Oh, I have a website, LeighScheps.com, and Instagram at Leigh Scheps, and then my Twitter's at Leigh TV Reporter.
Awesome. Leigh, this was so fun. I want to see you in
person. So glad to catch up with you.
And get together and catch up.
I know. Yeah, we definitely actually have to catch up offline about things.
Yes, absolutely. And I'll be seriously rooting for you on Saturday.
Oh,
that's
thank
so exciting.
you. Thanks.
All right. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.